Hi creative, welcome back to the channel. My name is Laura Ugi, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to cut and sew this beautiful dress in less than an hour. In fact, 45 minutes you're done making it. So first step, you fold the fabric into two. Then how to know the width you're going to be working on. You just pick the largest part of the person's body, whoever you're making it, either the hips or the bust. Largest part, divide it into 4 and add allowance, 2 inches allowance. So you will know the width you're working with. So that's what I did. So the first step I'm going to do, I'm just going to cross my lines and I'll start my marking. So the shoulder is divided into 2 and I add half-inch allowance. Then you place your tape back to the shoulder, take it all the way down and mark the armhole measurement and you draw a straight line. How to know your armhole measurement? Just take the tape around your armhole and divide that figure into 2. You will know your armhole depth measurement. Since the shoulder is not this form, I'm going in with my curve ruler and making the shoulder curve, the armhole curve. So we are good to go. So in that point of our armhole, we marked down. That's where I'm going to be marking. That's why I marked the bust. I just divided the bust into 4 and I added 1.5 inch allowance. Then I went up, marked the shoulder to waist. That's where I'm going to be marking the waist measurement. I divided it into 4 and I added 1.5. Why I'm adding 1.5 is for our ease and also for our sewing, like our allowance. Then I'm marking my hip point there to know where my hip measurements will be. So that's my hip point. I mark the hip, divided into 4, then 1.5 allowance. And I also went back, mark at from the shoulder. I marked, so I didn't know that you're not seeing down there. The shoulder, the dress is going to be 29. We can see on the video that it's a dress that has joining, a little gathers joining. So this is what we're trying to create first. This is what we're trying to make first, cut first. So what I did, I marked from the shoulder to where the joining is going to start is going to be 29. Then the joining is going to start from that 29. So all I did, just mark from shoulder to wherever you want your joining to, start from. Then add half an inch allowance for the joining when you're joining the gathers. So that's all I did. I hope I'm making sense. Then I'm going to be taking my neck now for my client. It's 3.5 and the depth is 5 inches. So you can do whatever neck line you want, the style you want, a U-neck, a V-neck, a sweetheart neck, whatever you want. But my client wants a U-neck. So, and how wide you want it, you can mark. Then I'm coming down here by 1 inch for our shoulder slope. We're almost through. So since I'm cutting for the front, I'm connecting my marking now. So what I'm doing, connecting the bust to the waist, then from the waist down to the hip. Then from the hip measurement, I'm just taking it straight down to where our joining is, where the length is. I hope you just watch and you understand what I am trying to say. So this is the front pattern first. So the front armhole, you have to take it in a bit for it to give you this perfect fit on the armhole area. So how to achieve that? You take your tape and divide that armhole into two, mark there, mark going by half an inch, then connect your lines back. That's from the, like what I'm just doing on this screen now. Just connect your armhole. So that's going to be our armhole depth. Like that's where for the front, then for the back is the first one we cut. So this pattern, I'm going to be cutting it first, and I'll place this to cut for the back pattern. I am not making another pattern for the back, so this is what I'm going to use. So first I'm cutting my neck, and I realized I didn't add allowance for the shoulder, and that's what I'm going to be doing now. Please always add allowance for your shoulder. Always add allowance. Always add allowance. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm going to be cutting because this pattern I'm going to be using it for my back. So I'll cut first for the back pattern. That's why you're not seeing me cutting the armhole, the one we just finished making. I'll cut first for the back. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting it all the way down. As simple as that. I like I like simple, easy way. So all I did, place my fabric, I fold my fabric into two, then I place the front pattern on it, and I kept 1 inch allowance. You can see that space, it's for zip. So here we're just going to have we're just going to change one or two things here for the back. Very simple. One of it is the neck depth for the back. I'm cutting 2.5 here. You can see the front is 5, but the back I wanted 2 inches. Then I'm adding a dart to the back of the dress for proper fitting. So you can see that waistline, I marked 1 inch, 1 inch. Then I used my hand, drew the line to connect it back to the armhole, then down to the hip point. That waistline you saw me going from shoulder to waist, that is 16 inches. I just marked 1 inch for the dart. Then I just connected it back to the armhole and to the hip point. So we are through with our back pattern. Very simple. But if you don't want to do this, you can go ahead and mark your back separately. But this is how I'm always doing. I cut and you cut very fast. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting. You can see why we didn't cut the armhole for the front. I'm just using this one to cut for the back. It's very important to add this allowance you're seeing me adding because of the dart. But if you don't want to add that, you don't need this. You just cut everything the same without adding this extra allowance. But I like adding that to it, so it will give fitting. That's all. Then I cut it open. That's our zip. You can see the zip allowance for it. Then I just push out the back pattern out. Then this is the front, and this is when I'm going to cut the depth in that 1/2 inch we did. You can also add your boss darts to it for the front if you like. So now I'll just go ahead and cut the facing for the clothes. So I'm showing you the darts now. This is the back pattern. So you go ahead and you mark your half length, that's 16 inches. You go down by 6 inches from that half length you mark, that's shoulder to your waist. When I say half length, that's waist, sorry. So you go up again by 6 inches, but mine, I like taking it a bit, like 7 inches is okay. Then you mark, that's the zip point part you're seeing me marking 1 inch out. Then I marked 4 inches for the dart. So I kept space for our zip, then I marked on the line 4 inch. That's like our nipple to nipple, like the dart measurement. We connect the lines together. Sorry, when you hear me say half length is shoulder to waist. Then that's shoulder to waist now. That's you go in by half an inch. Then you connect that half an inch to the part you have marked, the down point. I hope you're understanding what I am doing. So this is the reason why we added the allowance. So this is the reason why we added the allowance. So you can see you can also mark this separately from the back, or you can do what I just finished doing. So this is the facing I cut for the front. I want to turn my front neck now. You pin it together. Please always pin your fabric while sewing. So I'm going to sew it now, half inch all the way around. And when you're sewing, always back stitch. Very important. Sewing it all the way around. And you back stitch. So what I'm doing, I'm removing all the pins. Then you use your scissors and notch. Notch it all the way around. Be careful while doing that. Then what you do, you flip the facing and the stitch, you open it this way. Then you're going to be sewing it on the facing. You're going to press it on the sewing. Press it on the facing to make it flat and nice. So that is it. You do the same thing for the back and the same thing for the back pattern too. So I've done that for the back already, and I'm showing you how you can hold the darts. So this is how you hold your darts for the back. Please always double stitch, like back stitch. I'm cutting the thread now, and that's how to sew forward. See how fine it is, the dart. We'll go ahead and iron it. And this is the patch you have seen in the video. So this is 14 inches by 19 inches. This is what we're going to be placing on our fabric. And this is the gathers we're going to be making. These pieces we cut straight. This is 2.5 yards of is it length, or which should I call it, width. Then the length, I subtracted 29, then I marked the complete length of our gown, that's 38, and I added 2 inches allowance. 29 is because of our upper part. So this is the back part. I went ahead and added zip to it. Then this is the patch we cut our 14 by 19 inches. I'm just piping it all the way around. Once I'm done, I'm going to iron it, place it on the front pattern, like the front fabric, then sew it to the clothes. So you pipe it all the way around. I'll take it, iron it. I've placed it to our front pattern, our clothes, our fabric. Then I went ahead and joined the shoulder, the front shoulder with the back shoulder. I join it together. The next thing is for me to shape this side by 1 inch. You can remember we added 1.5 inch allowance, so 1 inch is for us to join, then half is for the ease. So this is how it will look. I'm sorry, the camera is shaking. So this is how it is. So the small pieces we cut out, I went ahead and run gathers on it. So these gathers now is the width of the dress we just finished shaping. That's for it to fit in there all round. So I open the joining at the back, then I'm going to place the gathers, and I'm going to sew it from this point, and I'll sew it all the way round to the other point. All the way around to this point. So I cut my sleeve off camera, and this is how the sleeve is. I put the elastic on it. Let me know in the comment section if you don't know how to cut your sleeve. I already shaped it. I shaped it to the armhole measurements, like the sleeve measurement, this arm space you're seeing. So I shaped the sleeve to that, and I'm going to be placing it together to sew. So I place the sleeve to the dress, right side facing right side. You can see they are pinned down. So I place it right side facing right side. So I'm going to be sewing it all the way around. Very, very simple. And our clothes is ready. Let me know in the comment section any parts you don't understand. I'm going to explain better then, and also drop anything you want me to any video you want me to make next. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share the video, comment, and